Rose?
Never mind. Never mind.
Are you okay?
I told you guys before that I used to get panic attacks when I was little, and the first time it actually happened was when I was in third grade and my teacher was showing a film on space, and the same thing just sort of, it always, never mind, Professor. I'm okay. Thank you, really.
Lincoln?
I feel exactly the same way, Rose. I actually felt nauseous and excited watching that. It happens to me all the time, but I never talk about it. It's like I'm so fascinated by all this in one way, but the hugeness, is that even a word? The enormity, confusion of it blows my mind, and then I end up having to just veg out and gather myself.
Thank you, Lincoln. Anyone else? Kai?
It's too big to think about. And there's so many different ways to go about trying to find an answer. And let's not forget, people tend to hold on tight to their beliefs and theories. So it's not even really safe to talk about. Because in my house, there are two things you do not question. That's creation and my mom's recipes.
Rams?
Yeah, I'm a little confused as to what this has to do with business.
Thank you, Rams. Great question. You'd be surprised how everything connects to everything in one way or another. Emily?
I admit, I was thinking the same thing as Rams when I was watching the video, but whatever we get to in this class, it'll for sure be about humanistic management and balancing. Help me out, guys.
The four drives. All four drives.
Yes. Wonderful. The ABCDs of humanistic management. The drive to acquire, bond, comprehend, and defend. We just saw two drives in what you shared here. Your search for meaning to comprehend, the C drive. How about your desire to relate and understand each other? What drive was that? Rams?
Bond, baby, bond.
That's correct, Rams. I'm proud of the work that you all put in these last few weeks. It's a privilege to witness. Okay, Rams and Emily were curious as to how this pertains to business. Let me bring it to the now, the present, this moment, which is... Go ahead, Mackie.
All we have, Professor. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift from God, which is why we call it a present.
Thank you, Mackie. The present moment, yes. And in this moment, let's discuss societal excellence. Let's talk about the ultimate highest purpose.
What is the ultimate highest purpose in societal excellence?
Anyone want to jump in? Yes, Kai?
Okay, when I think of society, my mind immediately goes to people, humans. But when you say ultimate, I think of God.
Yeah, Ultimate threw me a bit, but whenever I find myself getting that dreaded, hopeless feeling, like in the fetal position, curled up in my bed, crying about the state of the world, and I ask myself what is actually needed, I always come back to everyone just tolerating and accepting each other, getting along, kindness.
Wouldn't it be about protecting everything so everything could flourish at the same time? People, animals, the earth, the galaxy.
Respect.
Yes. You're all correct. Protection of the dignity of life and the promotion of flourishing. If we conduct ourselves in a manner that leaves our future generations in a better place ecologically, socially, and economically, societal excellence can be reached. Does anybody know about the great law of the Iroquois?
Take it away, Mackie.
In our every deliberation, we must consider the impact of our decision on the next 7 generations.
Wow, I'm sorry, Professor, but that did not happen for our generation. They should be ashamed of themselves.
They?
How exactly do you, not you literally, Professor, like they, them, whoever they are, everyone, it's everyone, the people who left us this horrible mess, how exactly do they sleep at night?
Right. So, just to be clear, we not only annihilated the Iroquois theory they were discussing, we pillaged, raped, and murdered so many members of their tribe. Let's pledge allegiance. Hooray!
Right now, we have societal collapses that may actually be irreparable. The rainforests, the oceans, global warming. Don't tell me this isn't a direct result of corporate greed, of profit maximization, and the economistic model.
The unfathomable violence and abuse that is part of the fabric of our lives. I was babysitting my 7-year-old sister the other day and couldn't find her. She was crouched under the piano bench, practicing an active shooting drill she learned. She's in 1st grade. Then there's human trafficking, sweatshops. It never ends.
This is exactly where we need to rely on our faith. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7 says, "We will live by faith, not by what we see."
Mackie, seriously. All due respect. I've grown to love your little sentences and stuff, but I was an altar boy my whole life. And, believe me, the specific place I served, put it this way, you just had to keep your mouth shut, okay? Whatever. It's just, whatever. Never mind. Keep going, guys.
I want you to know I deeply hear each and every one of you. I see your grief. I grieve with you. And there have been times I've felt the same way. Don't think I haven't. There's a lot of work to be done. It takes time. Rose?
The leader of Sri Lanka put a peace plan in place that he projected would take 500 years.
It's true. And the country is committed to it. Look, I know it's hard to believe when you turn on the news, but violence overall, worldwide, has decreased over time. The situations we discussed are examples of the 4 drives being out of balance with each other. So much harm and destruction comes from this. Lincoln?
I am so not trying to be a downer here. But is this even attainable? Like, really possible?
Wouldn't it have happened already?
I can't answer the question as to why it hasn't happened yet. I have my theories. What matters is that you have the assuredness to believe that each of you can contribute to societal excellence. Emily?
Where do we even start?
At the beginning?
Where's the beginning?
I guess we start right where we are, with ourselves. Our excellent individual selves, honoring our dignity and purpose.
How?
Have any of you ever heard of Ikigai?
Who you calling Icky? Sorry. It won't happen again. I secretly dream of doing comedy. I love Charlie Chaplin. That guy is the man. It won't happen again, though.
That's it, Rams.
No, really. One more chance, please. Seriously. I was a little choked up and I decided to make a bad joke. It won't happen again.
No, Rams. That's your Ikigai.
Ikigai is an ancient Japanese concept that means reason for being.
Hold up. So you're telling me my reason for being is making bad jokes and almost getting kicked out of class?
No, you said you wanted to do stand-up.
Think higher, Rams.
Ikigai is broken down into 4 parts. What do you love? What are you good at? What does the world need? What can you be paid for?
Okay. Thinking higher. I'm thinking about being a famous stand-up comic. Nothing's happening.
Give it a moment. Feel it. Think higher. Feel deeper. We're talking about big stuff here. What we love, what brings us passion.
Okay. Okay, wait. I always was in trouble. At home, in school, church, everywhere. My grandmother was the only one who didn't yell at me. She was the only one who didn't shame me. Nana would hold her stomach, rolling over laughing at anything I said. Oh my God. I could still feel the way she would laugh at it now. Wow. I could still feel that.
Rams, you're talking about your grandmother. You could totally be paid for bringing comedy and laughter to the elderly community. I used to volunteer in a facility, and I had to stop because I couldn't bear how sad and lonely some of the residents seemed.
Absolutely. And what's better than a world with more laughter? The good kind, I mean. Not the kind that hurts people's feelings. Laughter's the best medicine.
I'd pay a cover charge to see you perform, Rams.
Nice.
Okay, so you're good at it. You love it. Can you be paid for it? Does the world need it? Someone else step up. Kai, what do you love? Don't think, just answer. Go.
I don't know. Elephants. I love elephants. I used to make believe I was one.
I love elephants too, Kai, yes.
Right?
Amazing creatures.
Their walk.
The power.
The intelligence.
Right, yeah, I know. Total symbol of good luck.
Luck. Wisdom. Spirituality.
And how exactly are we making this a business?
Ideas, anyone?
Oh my God, the world needs so much help when it comes to biodiversity and understanding its habitats. The fact that you both love elephants is where you start. Maybe get them out of being an endangered species.
I watched a documentary on ecologists in Myanmar who risk their own lives to find poachers who are making jewelry out of the skin. Did you know that there are only 50,000 Asian elephants left in the wild?
I saw that same film, Rose. Also, there's something happening now where these incredible creatures are being born tuskless.
Kai is 100% right. There was so much poaching in the 80s and 90s for ivory that the only females that survived were the ones who had smaller tusks, because the rest were butchered. So they're passing down the gene to baby elephants, and they're being born without tusks.
There's our business, Lincoln. I am so passionate about this, I could literally commit my entire life to this. Imagine ending these horrific dignity violations on these creatures once and for all.
I am so with you, Kai. I am right there.
That's my boys, Kai and Lincoln, taking it on the road, making a buck. Yes.
Do not underestimate the effect of striving to protect the dignity of all life. And yes, you can make money at it as well. And look, we have made progress. It's slow, it's complicated, but it matters.
Definitely matters to the elephant.
See, that's the point. All of this ripples into societal excellence. We're all connected to everyone and everything, like an invisible web. There's a saying by Chief Seattle. Mackie?
Humankind has not woven the web of life. We are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together. All things connect.
Thank you, Mackie. All things connect. Think about that for a minute. The prophets and poets have been saying this for centuries. We just seem to have lost sight of it, especially in business. Let's watch this.
Our goal is to create an environment where everybody matters. Unfortunately, we live in a world of capitalism where we see people as objects for our success. I was educated and raised in an environment where creating shareholder value, profits, would result in my success. I took management classes. I got a management degree. I got a job in management. So what I try and do? I tried to manage people. I was never taught the awesome responsibility that leadership has over the lives that are influenced by my leadership. Never taught, never exposed to that. I was raised and educated where capitalism was about profits, shareholder value, and my success. So I think from this perspective that we have a crisis in this country, a crisis of leadership. And many of the symptoms we are seeing, broken families, broken marriages, broken lives, are the result of us sending people home each day with a sense that they work for an organization that doesn't care about them. The good news is that we have the power in this room, in this country, to solve this tomorrow. We just need to engage our heads and our hearts in a leadership process that validates the worth of every individual, where everybody in this country matters. For a second, Barry Wehmiller is a $1.5 billion company with 7,000 team members around the world. What do we build? We build great people. Our primary role is to invite people into our organization, give them skills and abilities and opportunity for a meaningful life. To do that, to raise the economic model, we produce machinery for various companies around the world, and we produce consulting services. In the 1988 period of time, when this initiative began to develop this truly human organization, we had to convert a 100-year-old industrial company into a human organization that was a combination of a vibrant business model and a vibrant culture. So today, we have created an organization that has grown by about 20% a year since 1988 and created shareholder value in excess of 15% compound a year, when the S&P 500 in that same period of time since 1998 has only created 3% value. So clearly some combination of a vibrant business model and a vibrant culture that validates the worth of every individual and allows people to be who they were meant to be in a common purpose has created value. Our idea in leadership, what we have come to realize, is that our responsibility is to create an environment, whether you're in the military or in the industrial area or in government or in education, an environment where people can discover their gifts, develop their gifts, share their gifts, and, extremely important, be recognized and appreciated for doing so, which creates an opportunity for them to go home each night to their families, whatever that family situation is, and have a more meaningful life, a life of purpose where they feel valued and where they get the chance to be what they were brought on this earth to be.
Rose?
I've been at my job as a nanny for a year, and after watching these Bob Chapman videos, I realized that the people I work for and the agency do not value me in the least bit. I care for their child, shop for them, arrange their schedules, and they know nothing about me. They've never asked me where I live or what my family is like. I don't even think they know my last name or care. They have no idea I'm in school. But I bought the wrong shampoo for her last week and they took it out of my pay.
Lincoln?
I started thinking about a lot of the same things that Rose is talking about. Do I feel valued at my job, my school, with my friends? And one thing I realize is that I do feel valued in this class.
I definitely feel valued in this class too. You know, guys, there are businesses that are really committed to sustainability. And right now, we do more shopping than we do managing. So we can start there. I mean, nothing's perfect, but they've made it their mission to protect the dignity of our species and the planet. Unilever is great. You can Google it. They have so many products for home and they have food too. And if you guys need clothes, you can try Patagonia. All these places at least try and balance the 4 drives.
It's up to us to continue checking and holding ourselves and these companies accountable if the drives are imbalanced.
It's hard though. I swear I want to do my part, but I love hamburgers and I drive an SUV.
Totally, Rams. I go through the same thing. I love a good cheeseburger. I really just practice responsible consumerism and consumption. It's so much easier than we think.
It's true. We can buy from places that are aligned with our hopes and visions. There are really so many to choose from.
Yeah, it's just about becoming conscious and aware and making sustainable choices. I love meat too, so I choose to buy animal welfare approved or certified humane. Doesn't mean I have to give it up, it just means I'm contributing to societal excellence.
I want you all to know you're not alone. The task of societal excellence is huge, yes, but possible. I hear the disappointment you have in those around you, those you feel should have been taking care of these things, and I want you to know many are, day in and day out. Does anyone know about the United Nations SDGs?
Wait, Professor, did you say
SDGs, Rams.
He said SDGs.
United Nations, Rams.
Oh my God, because I was like,
It says here, SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, or Global Goals, are a collection of 17 interlinked goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. The SDGs were set in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by the year 2030.
April 25th, 1945. 50 governments got together after bearing witness to the atrocious dignity violations of World War II. They formed the United Nations. Emily?
One more thing, then I'll stop talking. But there are also a ton of successful businesses affiliated with the UN's goals. There's B Corporation, social enterprises, conscious capitalism, the UN Global Compact, and now I will stop talking. And bam, there's my ikigai.
The dedication here is so admirable. Let this show you that people do care. Many dedicate their entire lives and businesses to this. Progress is never perfect, rarely straight, and seldom on our time frame. Trust me, your ethics in business will be challenged. And how you respond determines your character. My hope for each of you is that you make this commitment to yourselves right here, right now. Strive for societal excellence. The world we want to create is how we live today. Your work starts right now. I thank you.
think higher, feel deeper.
Stay safe, everyone. See you next week. Study for the final. Woo!